It's the bane of crypto, the multi-million-dollar hacks that were synonymous with the industry even in the days of the bull market. Of course, fiat money can be stolen, but the issue with crypto is once it's gone, it's gone. Movement of tokens from wallet to wallet happens peer-to-peer without any centralized third party in between to facilitate that movement. And that means no bank to petition when something goes pear-shaped. It also means that the victims of scams and hacks can never get their money back unless the villain has a change of heart. Or does it? In today's episode, we're going to talk about one of the biggest exploits in crypto history and bring you an exclusive interview with Oasis CEO Chris Bradbury. Recently, a white hat organization found a way to retrieve some of that stolen money, and it raises several questions. Will we see more of this going forward? If so, will crypto become safer for the average retail investor? And if so, is it still crypto? Thanks to MetaMask for sponsoring this video. With MetaMask Learn, you can learn Web3 with the leading Web3 wallet. Now, I should note up front that the solution to the wormhole exploit did not involve reversing a transaction, but a recent debate regarding reversible transactions offers an interesting parallel, and it also raises similar questions. So last fall, a team of researchers at Stanford University suggested a new standard for Ethereum tokens, one that would allow for reversible transactions. And without getting too far into the nitty-gritty of the technology and how it all would work, I can say that this proposal was controversial. Several people took to Twitter to say that it was heretical. Kind of criticism likened the proposal to recreating the traditional banking system, and more alarmist comments called it one of the most dangerous ideas, comparing it to an attempt to re-engineer planes so they couldn't fly. It sucks when people get hacked, but that's the danger we face and the price we pay for freedom, one wrote. Others were more supportive, cognizant of the fact that saying regular multi-million-dollar hacks was simply the cost of freedom would consign crypto to perma-obscurity. Now, another interesting statement came from the pseudonymous founder of the Solent protocol, who wrote, "I'm surprised at the backlash this has gotten, because reversible transactions could be the missing piece for bringing traditional institutions into crypto." And he then added, "As long as non-reversible transactions exist, I see no issue in exploring a useful idea." And all of this, of course, brings us to the wormhole hack. Wormhole is a protocol which lets users bridge assets between Solana and other blockchains. About a year ago, in February 2022, it was hacked to the tune of $320 million. At the time, it was the second largest DeFi exploit in history. And as an aside, I'll note here that it's now the 5th largest exploit according to the Rekt leaderboard, which really drives home the fact that folks are still using this technology at their own peril. But Jump Crypto, a market maker heavily invested in the Solana ecosystem, stepped in with a bailout. It replaced the 120,000 ETH stolen by the hacker. In other words, Jump jumped in front of the bullet. Now, on Friday, Oasis said that some of that crypto had been recovered. In a statement shared on its blog, Oasis said it was ordered by the High Court of England and Wales to, quote, take all the necessary steps that would result in the retrieval of certain assets involved with the wallet address associated with the wormhole exploit. The assets were retrieved and immediately passed on to a third party. White hat organizations are the good guys of the hacking world. They find software vulnerabilities before the thieves can do the same and make off with folks' hard-earned money. And according to CEO Chris Bradbury, an unnamed group of white hats approached Oasis, saying that they found a vulnerability that would allow Oasis to reach into the hacker's wallet and take the money out. So that's exactly what they did on February 21st. Now, according to Blockworks research, Oasis allowed Jump to take control of an Oasis vault, which the hacker had opened to take a leverage long position on a pair of staked Ether derivatives. Jump then repaid the open loans with $80 million of its own DAI and withdrew the hacker's $220 million in collateral. They rugged the rugger. And if we factor in the cost of retrieving the stolen funds, the net return was about $140 million, so not bad for a day's work. But just as some had during the reversible transactions debate, many in the industry cried foul. And we'll get to their criticism in just a moment, but first, a quick word from our sponsor. MetaMask Learn is an educational platform designed to immerse you in the world of Web3, what it is, why it matters, and how to get started. You will learn core concepts in fresh and engaging lessons from the world's leading self-custodial wallet. MetaMask Learn is for you if you've been interested in Web3 but just don't know where to start, if you've bought some crypto on an exchange but you don't know what to do with it, if you still don't understand Web3 principles because they've been too jargon heavy, and you want to know what the fuss about Web3 really is. Now back to our story. After Oasis recovered a significant sum in the counterattack, which is estimated around $140 million after the DAI repayment to retrieve the collateral, condemnation from the crypto community was swift. What happens when US courts demand Oasis seize from US users in the future? Influencer Adam Cochran tweeted. Another one called it a horrendous precedent. If they do it for Jump, what does that say about possible coercion via state actors, they wrote? Upgradable contracts are not decentralized if a court order can force changes. Albert Fox Khan, a lawyer and technologist fighting the abuses of mass surveillance, made the same point. He said DeFi isn't decentralized. It's amazing just how quickly a court order shows how centralized Web3 systems really are, he wrote. These sites claim that they're distributed and democratic, but as soon as they're looking at a prospect of contempt citation, a different reality emerges. Here's how Oasis CEO Chris Bradbury addressed some of the questions I put to him in an exclusive interview with the Defiant.
Yeah, I mean, the white hat group that raised the vulnerability effectively, but like, yeah, from our point of view, like we had no idea we'd be able to like basically string together all those types of transactions in one go. But then it wasn't the white hat group that carried it out. It was again, it was a wallet authorized by the court. There was another third party by the court that was effectively instructed to carry this out. Our first reaction to it was like, oh no, that's not possible. Like there's these different checks in place. Like you have to like end the transaction in a certain state. And again, the design of it was there to be able to upgrade, like many protocols have, right? Many protocols use a multi-sig to be able to upgrade contracts in the event of a vulnerability. So it was there, like when it to protect user funds. So it definitely will be patched, hopefully in the next couple of days. We're there to protect our users first and foremost, right? From a third party and unauthorized access to their assets. That isn't possible and never has been possible, that a third party can come in and access their funds. Till Thursday, we had no idea that we had that possibility. But yeah, it's going to be locked because of the nature of the automation. The current plan in the next couple of days is to effectively just remove the upgradability on the automation system. We were only acted on the order of the High Court in the UK. The most important point really is just that, yeah, we didn't realize until Thursday night there wasn't at no point ever any risk to user funds, and that still remains true today. But I think there's also maybe some kind of like USDC can be frozen by the US government at any point for any wallet and stuff, right? And almost everyone in DeFi uses USDC as well. And there's a lot of protocols out there that also are still operating under with a multi-sig and a multi-sig access and things. Our entire strategy resolves around us not having access to user funds. Like that's the entire kind of like, that's the sell, that's the strategy. Like we are proponents of DeFi, like some of the strongest proponents of DeFi. This is kind of goes against everything we believe and why we're building non-custodial products in the first place. Like, I mean, it's not a difficult line to know that we should not be able to access user funds. So that is something that we are very, very clear on. Like we should not be able to access user funds. We don't have a business strategy if we can access users' funds. And again, it's not like we accessed anybody's funds here, like any random innocent kind of party or just randomly picked a vault that was like, hey, let's take a piece of that and or whatever. Like there was a very specific kind of vault. We maintain that kind of aim and thing for Oasis, really, where we're like we want to be that like the most trusted place to deploy and manage your capital in DeFi. That's still the thing that drives us today, like that trust element. What trust means, like obviously it's not us being able to take control of the asset, but like also know that users will have the most protection possible.
Until hacks become less prevalent in the industry, the debate will rage on. So tell us in the comments below what you think. Should Oasis have made the move they did? And if not, is this just the price we pay for freedom? As always, thank you for tuning into The Defiant, and we'll see you again tomorrow.